So is BMI the best way to do business in the world for your metabolic health? That's my BMI, 30.1. According to this list, more than 30 is obese. 25 to 29.9 is overweight. They claim 19 to 24.9 is normal, and under 19 is underweight. And according to the weight and height recommendation for me, a male at 177 centimeters, I'm actually 178 and sometimes 179, depending on what shoes I wear. Sorry. I am supposed to be 77.1 kilos. A handy dandy calculator here. 77.1 divided by 2.205. No, that's wrong. I have to multiply. Sorry. 77.1 times 2.205. Okay. I'm supposed to be 170 pounds. That ain't going to happen, man. I've never been 170 pounds, ever. I spent 2 months in boot camp, and in the last 2 weeks, I think they pulled my wisdom teeth. Though they put me on light duty, I couldn't eat anything, so I literally fasted for a week or so. And when I got back to California, I think I stepped on a scale and weighed somewhere around 174. I was skin and bones, man. No way. No way, Joes. All right? BMI. It's a metric. It was invented by a Belgian statistician in the 19th century. And he said you take your weight in kilos and you divide it by your height in meters squared. And for a Belgian, that I guess would work. I have a really good, one of my best friends in Belgium. And he's tall, definitely tall. I think he's 6'4" or something. I mean, he's gargantuan, but he's lanky, and not in a bad way. I mean, that's his body structure. Yeah, I guess if you compared this statistical model for a Belgian, a typical Belgian, then maybe you'd have something here. But I'm as far as I know, Irish Welsh, somewhere in there, mixed with Rhineland, Germany, and the eastern side of Poland. I can't mention the name of the country because I don't want to even deal with the censorship and nonsense for even having mentioned the thing. But and I'm 50% that. So let's just say I'm 50% Polish, 25% German, and 25%, let's just call them the British Isles, all right? And then I grew up in America, New York, precisely, on the border of Canada. So, the Niagara Falls. Yeah, it's kind of boring. Okay. No, actually, it's really cool. But anyway, that's my genetic makeup. And matter of fact, when I took this slip, and it's pretty close, like I said, I don't think I weighed quite 94 kilos. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I really did have very heavy shoes. I had just finished eating 2 Betty's over at Amerik's Hamburgers. So essentially 2 slabs of beef and bacon wrapped in lettuce, and I had 2 of those. And I had a crap load of pickles and a bunch of these little yellow chilies. I love these things. If you've ever been to Tommy's Hamburgers in Los Angeles, you know what I mean about those little yellow things. Oh, they're so delicious. Yum. And I eat them like candy. So I was probably maybe pushing 94. All right, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, regardless, I went in there and there were 2 ladies behind the counter who were both metabolically challenged. I mean, you just look at people, and I can tell you, you probably high triglycerides, low HDL. Your glucose is probably up there. And but I looked at it, and I just held my hands. I said, "Do I look obese to you?" Obviously in Spanish. We're in Mexico, right? They just looked at me funny. I said, "Well, look, this little thing says I'm obese," and they just kind of went, "Yeah." So I don't recommend BMI. So let's put that to bed right now. I would recommend more strongly measuring right around your belly button, horizontal to the floor, around your love handles, around that little thing you call a gut, where I used to call it Dunlap's disease. Now, Dr. Barry had just mentioned this on one of his videos, but I'd known about this ever since I was in the Coast Guard in Houston, Texas. We had Dunlop's disease. That's where your belly Dunlops over your belt. You know what I'm saying? So, and do not measure your belt line. Measure right over your belly button, your love handles, etc. And then you're going to take the equivalent units that you measured that in, whether it's centimeters or inches, and you're going to divide that by your height. So it's waist over height. If that number is greater than 0.5, you need to start looking at other markers to find out if you have insulin resistance. A few of those are the HOMA-IR score. Another one would be your average daily glucose being calculated from your HbA1c. All right, that's how the people in Australia say it, H1A1c. All right, so those there, and then take your blood pressure. And I guess the latest, greatest is 120/60. If you have a big belly and you're blowing bad triglycerides and HDL, your blood pressure is going to be 130, 140, 150, somewhere in there. And your diastolic is going to be pushing 90. And that's a bad thing. So with all these things taken into account, I only need 2 of those suckers, and I can tell you, you're into at least pre-diabetes, if not full-blown type 2, which I was, definitely. And I fixed that in 9 months. So how? Well, the only way, look, the way the human being loses weight is for some reason, shape, form, or other, the insulin has to be driven down in order to get access to your fat stores. And the body has several ways to compensate for that. If you're one of those people that eat several small meals a day and you do an awful lot of exercise, your body's just going to go, I'm just going to reduce my metabolism. There. And it will reduce it significantly, maybe by half. You'll start feeling cold. Your blood, your actual body temperature will lower. You're going to feel pretty miserable. You're going to feel weak. There's several symptoms. Just look up low metabolism symptoms, signs and symptoms. Don't worry about the cause, because they probably missed it. The cause is that you're eating too many meals during the day. You're not eating enough, so your body thinks you're starving. And you're probably exercising like you shouldn't. If you're in anaerobic exercise, and that would be like you're exercising, no. Body's going to produce cortisol, spike blood sugar, insulin's going to go up, and you're stuck. You're not going to lose your fat. You'll do it for a couple of, I did it for 3 months. I was actually able to go from 126, 125 kilos down to a solid plateaued 112 to 115 for 6 damn months. Right? I lost that initial weight. I can guarantee you 5 kilos was just water, because I actually did reduce my food. And I did lose some water weight. Obviously, everyone's going to lose water weight. So I don't even count the first 5 kilos. So I went literally 10 pounds in 3 months. Okay, divide that out. Oh, that's not bad. That's like 3 pounds a month. No, you should be losing 2 pounds a week, friend. Okay, that's average. You should be losing 8 to 10 pounds a month, not over 3 months. Then I just stalled out for 6 months, found keto. The rest is history. I have that in my other videos. And so what your job is to reduce insulin. So how do you do that? Well, don't eat. Insulin will fall. Yes, but I'm hungry. Well, you won't be if you do the following. And it'll take 3 days to a week to get this accomplished. You can do it fast, you can do it slow. If you do it slow, it'll take a month. If you do it fast, like I did, it'll take you 3 days to a week. You'll feel like hell, and then after that, it's all easy. So I'm one of those that just jump in, both feet. Let's go. Get rid of all your sugars, all of it. Diet sodas, anything sweet. Buy. Well, fruit, is it sweet? Yeah. No. Well, bread's not sweet. Yeah, that's the next thing. We're going to get rid of all grains. Bread, tortillas, cakes, anything that has to do with flour, corn, anything you can make something to hold a sandwich with. Buy, all gone. And you're like, well, what the hell are we supposed to eat? Salad. Plenty of fatty meat and eggs. Okay? Salad, I mean lettuce. If you can handle spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, those are the biggies. Green beans. Avocados for your fruits. Tomato for your fruit. Chilies, Mexican chilies for your fruits, if you can handle the spice. Onions and garlic are always acceptable. Any of the spices that you have in your cabinet. And what you're going to do is you're going to make yourself a massive meal, and you're going to eat until you are stuffed, and then push a few more mouthfuls. Okay? That's what I've noticed. Push a few more mouthfuls. You actually may go up in weight for a brief week or so, maybe more. I didn't have this happen, but I've heard that it does or can happen. So once you've done that, your body's going to go, oh, we have plenty of food. Metabolism's going to go up. Oh, now he's not eating but once a day. Why? Because you're not hungry. Here's hunger. Well, I've been eating eggs and steak for the last month and I'm bored. No, you're just not addicted. Yeah, you're an addict. If you are hungry, and I mean hungry, and I dangle a French omelet and a big fatty steak rib in front of you, you are going to eat it, and you're not going to worry about boredom in the least. Now, would you prefer a pizza with thick crust and a lot of sugary sauce like we have in Buffalo? The sugary sauce in Buffalo, we don't have the thick crust necessarily. You're going to want a big old Subway, right? Big old sub sandwich. You're going to want a hoagie. You're going to want some, if you're Mexican, you're going to want just to go to town on some sweet bread and some tortillas. Yeah, that's addiction. You're addicted to food, I'm sorry. So what you do is you start eating a lot of fat. I would eat a little higher than medium protein. I would eat a significant amount of protein. I really, right at the beginning, I would even cut the veg out unless you feel like you need a salad and it doesn't give you diarrhea. But now you're resetting your gut. You may have diarrhea and or constipation for the next 1 to 2 months, depending on how quickly your native flora and fauna in your guts begin to regenerate. You actually have more, they say, you have more bacteria in your large colon than you do cells in your entire body. And we're talking numbers that you can't even think about. That just doesn't even make sense. It's a lot. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to eat once a day. Pick a time. You're going to make yourself 4 to 6 eggs. You can eat cheese if you can tolerate the lactose and whatnot. And then you're going to just gorge on fatty meat. Pork ribs with a lot of fat. Chicken, definitely with the skin, and I would recommend the thighs and the wings, uber alles, all right, overall. Fish, pick the fattiest fish. Salmon is a good one, but I'm never satiated with that. I need to eat a chunk of salmon, and then I got to go gnaw on a 3-pound rack of beef rib. Or you can go ahead and, what was the fourth meat there? We have beef, pork, chicken, and fish. Oh, that was it. And just eat until you are full, and then cut yourself. Remember how they said, you should reduce your meat to the size of the palm of your hand. When you are full, and you're like, now cut a chunk of fat or meat about that big, maybe even a quarter stick of butter, and go ahead and pop that. And then eat that chunk of steak a little extra. Get yourself a little overfull. Dude, you ain't gonna want to eat maybe tomorrow, probably the day after tomorrow. You will have eaten so much food. For the first week or so, you're gonna have desires, but that's the addiction part, all right? That's not true hunger. Because, hey, if you really are hungry, make yourself another 4, 5, 6 eggs, make some French omelets, make yourself a big old fatty beef rib. I don't want that. Then you're not hungry. Please, that's the difference, all right? So, BMI is not a very good idea. I've given you plenty of other ways, plenty of other metrics. If you want more information on the triglyceride to HDL ratio, I'll leave it. Go ahead and ask me, and we can talk about that in the comments. If you want to know why high blood pressure is what you have, if you want to know why the HbA1c is an important number, the HOMA-I score calculation, all these things are very important. I can share those with you. Just ask me in the comments. And so BMI I wouldn't use. That's really not a very effective tool. Now, if you have my, excuse me, oh, could you pass the Grey Poop home? Yeah, it was the missus calling. That's my ringtone. I guess it's a Polonaise or something. I don't know. It comes with the phone. So there you go. BMI again isn't the greatest thing in the world to do, and the only real way you're going to lose weight is by driving down insulin, and I pretty much beat that one to death. So we'll talk again soon. You have a great one. Bye. Oh, be well.